Right. We'll go ahead and get started. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tawana Rivers. This is the 10K Project, and Happy New Year. This is our first Bet on Black pitch of 2024, and we are so excited to kick off this year with an amazing lineup of founders and an amazing lineup of wealth building sessions. For those of you who attended our session yesterday, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And so we did not disappoint, and we will not disappoint this evening. So thank you so very much to everyone watching us in Facebook. Thank you guys for joining. Next time, y'all need to come on in the Zoom. Come on in the Zoom with us, right? But I'm happy that you are here watching. And we are excited to chat this evening. I want to introduce to you tonight's founder, BC. I will go ahead and let you introduce yourself, and then I'll go to the campaign page and show the campaign highlights, and then we'll jump in and get this party started.
Sure.
All right, so introduce yourself to the community, sir.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. My name is BC Adedokun. I'm the founder and CEO of Orokii. Orokii is a money transfer company, and we do money transfer to different parts of the world, including the United States and over 60 countries around the globe. As a background, I'm an IT professional. I've been in the field for over 25 years now. I have worked at IBM as a software architect, as an enterprise architect in the past, and I worked for Deutsche Bank for about 7 years before I left Deutsche Bank to start Orokii. So I have a lot of background and experience in the payment, in banking, and also in different working with different organizations. My role at IBM then was working with different type of organization to ensure that we scale their operation and help them to design their infrastructure and their software to enable them to meet their customer need. So I have a lot of background in information technology that span different areas, from a software engineer to different information management and all the different areas of information technology. Coming back to Orokii, I founded Orokii about 3 years ago, and the story behind Orokii was, as an immigrant from Nigeria, we have to send money back home to support our friends and family, to enable them to take care of things that they need to take care of, paying school fees, health-related expenses and all that. And during the pandemic, it was becoming very challenging to do that. And I had gone to MIT to attend a blockchain course for 3 months. And during that time, I know that you can use blockchain to facilitate money transfer in a manner that is different from what the traditional money transfer was doing. So seeing an opportunity, seeing that problem, I say I could actually solve this problem by finding Orokii and then enabling the technology to power the money transfer from one location to another in a speedy and delivery that will enable us to be able to also cut down on transaction fee. So that was the story behind Orokii, and that was how Orokii was actually born. And since then, we spent about 1.5 years developing the product, developing the platform, in the infrastructure, and putting everything together. And towards the early last year, we finally launched the product to the market. And since then, we've been in the market serving our customers, enabling them to send money to Europe, to Africa, to Asia, and also to some places in Latin America as well too. So that's a brief introduction about myself and Orokii.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, I'm going to share my screen and pull up the campaign page. Give me one moment. Can you guys see my screen?
It's painting, it's loading.
Okay.
No, it is I see your screen broadcast. Do you need me to share it?
Yeah, because it's just spinning for me.
Okay.
Perfect. There we go. Thank you, T-Shine. All right. So this campaign is on WeFunder. You guys are very familiar with the WeFunder page, so I'll just kind of go through this really briefly. They've raised to date $56,000 from 19 investors. The minimum investment is $500. There's an early bird term, so there's $944,000 of that early bird term. The founder is trying to raise $1 million. The way the early bird works is you get preferable terms if you get in before they get to that amount of the raise. If you get in after they get that amount, then you'll still be able to invest. The terms are just different, right? This is a safe note. So a safe note is a simple agreement for future equity, right? And the valuation cap is $5.5 million, right? There are some investor perks. I always tell you guys, scroll through and read everything on the campaign page. And why do I tell you to do that? Because the founders put a lot of effort and energy in making sure all of the information they know you need to see is here. And you got it right, Edward. This is part of your due diligence process. So very, very good. So we'll be putting the campaign link in the chat and in the comments in our Facebook page, in the Facebook group, throughout the evening. Please grab that link. I'm going to ask you at the end of the session to share that link with everyone you know. And so you might as well just go ahead and grab it now. So with that said, we'll turn it over to UBC. You can share your screen and present. And thank you so much for joining us. We're excited to hear all about Orokii.
Okay. Thank you. So let me present my screen here. Just give me a second. It's my presentation tools. Share my screen. I'll share this. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes,
Can you
sir.
see my screen? Okay. Let me see if I can put it in a presentation mode. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Are you seeing in a presentation mode, or you are seeing it?
Yeah, we're not seeing it in presentation mode yet.
Oh, you are not seeing it in presentation mode. Okay, let me stop sharing and share this other screen. So Dex 2, share. Okay, what about now?
Perfect.
Okay, very good. Okay, so I'm gonna go through this slide 1, slide 2. So what's as I mentioned earlier before, Orokii is a money transfer company. So what we do is similar to what Venmo does and Zelle and Remitly and some of these other money transfer companies. What differentiates us from most of these other companies that on our platform, you can actually do two things, right? So you can send money domestically. Think Venmo, right? So you can use Venmo to send money domestically or Zelle. And we also can send money internationally. So on our platform, you use one single app to do both. You can use our app to send money domestically, and you can also use the app to send money internationally. And today, what we do is we are able to send money, what we call ridiculously cheaper and faster. So money transfer, especially when it is cross-border, in most cases it would take 2 to 3 days. In some cases, it could be less, but in our case, we send money to these different locations and different countries in a matter of seconds. In some cases, we've seen 3 seconds when send money to the Philippines or send money to Nigeria or to Ghana. It takes 3 to 5 seconds in some cases. So we are able to deliver on a very fast manner when we deliver payments or money to other locations around the globe. The other thing that also differentiates us from the other competitors is that we do not have any kind of transaction fee today. So when you send money to a different locations from the US to different part of the world, you don't have to pay any transaction fee. So that way, the majority of the bulk of the money that you need to send actually get to the hands of the recipient instead of paying 4 to 5% of that in transaction fee. So we eliminate our transaction fee to make it more affordable and make it more inclusive so that we can have more people that are able to afford sending money to different parts of the world. So these are the general issues that you have with money transfer. Cost is, according to the World Bank, the average cost of sending money from one country to the other, the average is about 6.25%. And there is also the issue of time delay, as I mentioned before. In some cases, on average of 2 to 5 business days before you actually get your money when you send, before your recipient get their money when you send it over to another country. And there's no transparency on where the money is. There's all kind of hidden fees that are usually associated with money transfer generally. And the ecosystem is fragmented. There is no one single app that enables you to send money domestically and also to send money cross-border. So the Orokii try to address all these problems, making sure that when you send money from one location to the other, that money is able to get to the recipient in a much quicker and faster manner without having to pay any transaction fee. And we are able to do this because we enable blockchain on our platform. So the technology behind our product is actually blockchain. And if you are familiar with Bitcoin, blockchain is the technology that powers Bitcoin and some other things as well too. So using blockchain actually enable us to cut down on all the intermediaries, right? So there is something that we call corresponding banks, where you transfer money from one country to the other. There's a whole bunch of corresponding banks that are involved if you are not using blockchain, for instance. And as you go through all these corresponding banks, they layer on their own fees. So they tag on their fees, and that's why it becomes more expensive for you to be able to send money from one corridor to the other or from one country to another. But using technology like blockchain enables you to cut down on significantly on those middlemen, right? Those middlemen companies like intermediary in corresponding banks or intermediations, and you are able to send money directly to the country of the destination country, and then work with a partner that does what we call the last mile delivery that eventually now deliver the payment to the recipient. So using the technology, the blockchain technology enable us to be able to achieve that without having to go through all these corresponding banks. So these are the highlights. The market itself is globally is about 749 billion, so it's a huge market. We have an experience on individuals on our team. Our team comprises of experienced people that have worked in different financial institutions like Goldman Sachs, like Deutsche Bank, and Our CEO was a veteran of the U.S. Army. He served 28 years in the Army and he understands strategy and operation and on all things that help you to build a company from a strategic standpoint. We have received about 7 money transmitters around in the last 1 year right now, and we are increasing that. We are still applying for additional money transmitter licenses that will enable us to cover as many territory and geography as possible. We've partnered with most players in the money remittance space. We have FaceFee is a partner that we use for identity verifications. So they help us to ensure that we can prevent money laundering on our platform. We can prevent people that are tagged as PEP, politically exposed persons on our platform. We can ensure that no one can use our platform for any kind of money laundering or fraudulent activity. So we partner with all these different companies to ensure that our platform is robust and we adhere to the regulatory to all the regulation that we need to adhere to as a company. As you probably, money remittance is a highly regulated industry, and we have to comply with different type of regulations that are set either by FinCEN or by the federal government arms of the Treasury Department, which is FinCEN. And also we have to comply with different state licensing regimen that we are applying to when we get their license. So this is what we've done to date in terms of we have over 2,000 downloads on our platform. We have over 500 active users that are using the app. And as I mentioned earlier before, we have over 7 money transmitter licenses that we've got from different states. We do more transaction on cross-border than on domestic, and that is where we actually derive our revenue come from cross-border transactions. So that is where we do more transactions with our users do more cross-border transaction than domestic transaction. But we are able to do both on the platform. These are our statistics. We have over 117,000 deposits. I mentioned that we have over 2,000 downloads and people that are using the app today. Of cross-border volumes over 120,000. We've seen some withdrawals. So if you send money domestically, people have the ability to withdraw their money into their bank account. So we've seen those type of transactions that are also ongoing. So these are all the different type of the different statistics that we have on our platform right now. And our volume, domestic volume has ticked up, and our cross-border volume has also increased in the last 1 year since we started the operation in the US. This is how we differentiate ourselves from some of the competitors that are out there. As you can see, we have tap, send, wave, remit, and wise. So if you look at how Orokii differentiates itself, you are sending $500 to Ghana, India, and Peru, for instance. You can see that we deliver more money to the recipient than any of our competitors. So meaning that our recipients will actually get more money than using any of our competitors to send the same amount of money to either Ghana, India, or Peru. So that is one way that we differentiate ourselves from our competitors. Today, we cover over about 87 countries. Some of our competitors have been even around for more than 10 years or 5 years. They don't cover as many countries as we do cover today. We deliver payment in a matter of seconds to minutes, as I mentioned before. Some of our competitors we deliver in minutes to few days, but in Orokii, we deliver as in a matter of seconds and minutes. And using blockchain as the technology enable us to achieve this fast delivery on our platform. This is the team. As I mentioned before, my background include working as I've exited a previous, so this is my second entrepreneur company that I founded. I exited a company in 2014 earlier on before. And Mike and I we knew each other at business school. We went to the same business school in Madrid, and that's where Mike and I got to know each other. And since then, we've been partners and we've been friends. And he joined Orokii last year to become the chief operating officer of the company. Sharafa Ibrahim is someone that I've known for over 25 years. We've done different projects together before. He was a director at Goldman Sachs and Mitsuho, where he was a director of finance, delivering different solution and capability to different customers at Mitsuho. And Annie is our growth marketing manager, who is responsible for all marketing and campaigns and different channels that we have to reach to get our name out there and be able to drive our awareness and campaigns and different marketing activities that Orokii is engaging. And Himashi is our product and pricing manager. He's responsible for all pricing mechanism to ensure that even though we don't have fees, we still have, based on our revenue model, we are still able to make money with our current revenue model. So he's in charge of doing all those math work and ensuring that we can still remain profitable, even though without charging transaction fees. This is the overall market size. Like I mentioned earlier, the market size is over 794 billion global remittances. So it's a huge market. In the US, the payment outflow is over 73 billion. And the digital payment outflow is over 25 billion. That is, the digital payment is folks that are actually using, either they are using web, they are using mobile app, or they are using anything that is digital to send money across to different parts of the world. So that market alone is over 25 billion. And our total addressable market opportunity for Orokii is 25 billion. We are not trying to boil the ocean and saying that we will be addressing the 25 billion at one time. But our goal is to address a portion of that and scaling up and scaling our operation to be able to get up to between 1 to 3% of that addressable market opportunity. So that's our goal, is to get up to 3% of that market size eventually. The overall remittance, if you take into consideration B2B, is over 1.2 trillion. So, and the digital remittance in that space, if you take B2B plus P2P into consideration, is over 131 billion, and it's projected to reach 339 billion by 2030. So the market is huge, and that is why you see a good number of players in this market, because like I mentioned, the market is huge and we are trying to find our niche to be able to carve a niche for ourselves so that we can drive more growth and drive more revenue on our platform. Today, we're able to service 9 out of the top 10 remittance outflow from the US. So these are the top 10 countries where folks in the US send money to. India, Mexico, China, the Philippines, Vietnam, Pakistan, France, Bangladesh, Nigeria, and Egypt. So out of all these 10 countries, Orokii can send payment to 9 out of those 10, out of those top 10. So we have a very broad coverage in terms of our reach and where we can send money to from the US. Today, we're only doing payout, meaning that users can only send money from the US to other parts of the world. We are still working on the reverse where people will be able to use our app to send money from different parts of the world into the US. But that requires a lot of work and a lot of regulation that we have to abide to. So right now, our focus is just pay out from the US to all these other countries around the globe. These are all the different partners that we have relationship with. We have strategic partnership with all these partners where they help us in delivery capability or using their services to ensure that we have a robust risk management in place so that, as I mentioned, risk management is a key component of our service that we deliver. Managing risk on our platform is very, very key. We don't want anyone to use our platform for any kind of fraudulent activities, including money laundering or any other fraud activities. So we pay close attention to that, and we use services of some of these partners to ensure that we are doing continuous monitoring on the platform, and that enables us to detect and find any kind of activities, fraudulent activity on the platform, and to be able to react to it as quickly as possible. As a financial entity, bad actors are constantly poking our services and network constantly. That is when I was at Deutsche Bank, that was one of the key things that I was responsible for, is ensuring that we keep the bad guys out from penetrating our network and causing financial damage. So I have the same responsibility at Orokii as well, to keeping the bad guys out and making sure that we only enable people that have legitimate reason to transact business on the platform to have access to our platform to do legitimate businesses on the platform. This is our ask. We're asking for 1.2 million. As Tawana mentioned earlier on before, we've raised about 56,500 out of that. So we still have a long shot to get there, but we know that with your help and with your support, we'll be able to get to that number. So I'm counting on everyone on this call to help us reach that goal and help us to be able to get to our aim of raising 1.2 so that we can scale our operation, do all the things that we need to do to make Orokii a profitable venture, and then be able to deliver value to our stakeholders as well too. So that is what I'm asking for, and I'm asking everyone on this call to give us their support and help us to get to our goal of raising 1.2 million. I think with that is the end of my presentation, Tawana. So I'll be open for questions and for questions from the audience. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks for everyone for listening. Really
Thank you, BC. We appreciate that. You can stop sharing your screen so that we can be bigger on the screen. And I'm going to start us off because I've got some questions, okay? Everyone else, go ahead and please put your questions in the Q&A. If you're watching us live stream via Facebook, please put your questions in the comments. So my first question is, first of all, before I ask the question, congratulations on being able to deliver in seconds. That's a big deal. It's the first I've heard of a payment system delivering in seconds. I've heard, as low as like 2 to 3 minutes, but seconds was the first time. So congratulations on that. That's a big deal because people, when we're sending money to places, we need them to get it, and we need them to get it quickly. I actually wired money on Friday, and I got the notification this morning that it was being sent, right? If my recipient needed that money, we'd be in trouble because they didn't get it. If I got the notification this morning they probably didn't get it until this evening, right? If they've received it yet at all. And my bank charged me $35 to wire it. So, you know, when you think about the solution that you have built, not that you are building, you've done the thing, right? That you have built, this is going to really help get money in the hands of the people who need it most. So congratulations for that. One of the questions that I have is, if you're not taking fees, how does the company make money? You can talk about that a little more.
Sure. So we make money on what we call foreign exchange margin. So we have partners that one of those partners that we partner with, they have what we call mid-market margins. So on mid-market margin, that is where we make a little bit of margin on that to enable us to be able to sustain the operation of the company, and also to make a little bit of profit. So all our revenue model is based on FX margin.
Okay. So foreign exchange margin. Very, very good.
Foreign exchange margin, yes.
Very good. Let's see. A Facebook question came in. Oliver said, will the transfer be dollar to dollar transfer or dollar to local currency transfer?
Good question. So it depends. So in some locations, some countries, you are required to deliver payment in their local currency. So most of our regions, when you send dollars to euro, for instance, it will be delivered in euro. But there are some few countries that the destination country require you to deliver the payment in the origination currency. So Nigeria is one of those examples, even though they've relaxed that regulation right now. So if you send money to Nigeria before, the payment has to be delivered in dollars in Nigeria. But the new government that just came in now have relaxed that. So you have the option, for instance, to deliver payment as a USD to a domiciliary account in Nigeria or to a Naira account in Nigeria. So it depends on the destination country and what is the rules that their federal banking authority actually put in place. So it could be that the delivery will be in dollars, or it could be in local currency, whatever the local currency is.
Okay, very good. You talked about the 10 countries that have the top 10 countries where money is wired or sent from the US.
That's
and you
correct.
said service 9 of those. Which one did you not service?
Egypt.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only Egypt that we do not service yet. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the marketing. How do you have 2,000 downloads, so people are using the system, but how do you get in front of new people to know that you exist as a payment remittance vendor, and how are you out there telling the world about Orokii from a customer acquisition standpoint?
Right. So we're doing all the omni-channel that's available. We're doing word of mouth. Word of mouth have been very helpful. People spreading the word about Orokii and people using that as a word of mouth to get on the platform. We're doing Facebook campaign. We're doing Twitter, and we're also doing Instagram. We're doing PR, public. We do press release from time to time. We're doing cold marketing campaign as well too, and so we do all these we use different channels to reach our prospective customers. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email, word of mouth. Yeah, so LinkedIn, we do a lot of LinkedIn posting. If you probably see my posting on LinkedIn, I post on LinkedIn on a regular basis from a thought leader standpoint. I post a lot of things from a thought leadership standpoint on LinkedIn almost on a regular basis, and we use that to reach our customer as well too, and other partners. So
very good, very good. So let's talk about the downloads for a moment. Are you iOS and Android enabled? Can we just go into the App Store and
that's correct.
for the app?
Both, yeah. And we're also working on the web delivery of that as well too. That we hope that will come shortly. We've been working on that for some time right now, but there are still few things that we need to tighten up to make sure that it is well tightened, because once you open it to web, it's all you can see. There is it's an opportunity for fraudsters and bad guys to have easy access to the platform. So we are ensuring that we have all our risk management in place, our continuous monitoring, and making sure that we prevent any bad individuals from accessing our platform from the web. So the web is coming, and maybe in the next 4 to 6 weeks, we will launch the web version of the app. But right now, as of today, you can download the app from both iOS, from Apple Store, and also from Google Play.
Very good. I also feel like it was very impressive to hear you talk about all the ways you're preventing nefarious actions, right? When you think about knowing your customer and trying to make sure there's no anti-money, or make sure there's no money laundering and those things. I love that you've put some extra effort and have quite a few partners that help you succeed in that area. And so, you know, from a potential customer, that means a lot, right? To be able to keep that under wraps. How difficult is that to do?
Yeah, so I have background in security. I did a lot of security work with Deutsche Bank. I was the security lead, global security architect for Deutsche Bank, preventing bad things from happening to the bank. Deutsche Bank, you probably know, is a very big bank, right? So with all that experience and knowledge, we did the Orokii platform was what we call secure by design, meaning that from get-go, it's not, security wasn't an afterthought. It was something that was baked into the infrastructure of the environment. And we ensure that risk management, which is different from security, risk management is totally different from security, right? So making sure that we are continuously monitoring the environment and put a lot of security, risk management measures, risk control measures, what we call risk control measures in place to ensure that we can prevent bad actors from accessing our platform, and continuously monitoring that. It's challenging. If you have anyone that works in any financial industry will tell you that risk management and preventing bad actors from getting access to people's money and people's infrastructure is a very tough job to do, because they only need to be successful only once, and you need to prevent them from being successful 365 days, right, in a year, every time. And they are constantly poking, constantly, because they have that financial incentive, right? They want to defraud you. They want to find access to do all kind of illegitimate activities on the platform. So we are constantly on the lookout for that, and we have a lot of security controls in place, and risk management control in place as well to ensure that we haven't seen incident on our platform yet, so that is good thing. So that shows to the extent which we take this very seriously, and we hope that we continue to do that and continue to do our due diligence to ensure that people that actually on the platform are there to do legitimate business. They are not there to use the platform for any kind of fraudulent activities. Yeah.
Very good. Anonymous has a question. What is the ROI and expected time frame?
So we are not allowed to, by these SEC rules for crowdfunding, we are not allowed to provide any ROI, return on investment. But one thing is certain is that if we're able to get the funding that we need, the company will definitely return values to its shareholders. And part of our exit strategy is that we go IPO, we acquire some other company and grow organically, or we merge, or we get acquired, or we sell the company eventually. So those are all our exit strategy. But by SEC rule, we are not supposed to be talking about ROI for regulator CF. Yeah.
Correct. Very, very, very good. And you're absolutely right, BC. So let's talk about exit strategy a little bit, because you named all of the possible exit strategies.
Exactly.
What are the what's the one you're hoping for? I mean, what is the company's strategy around exiting?
IPO will be our preference. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. So let's talk. So if IPO is your preference, we know it takes a lot of money to IPO, right? Looking at probably about $30 million. That's on the low end, if I'm not mistaken. So let's talk about the capital raise journey that you plan to take, right? So this is the first round of raising capital, right?
That's
Raising
correct.
you mapped out very nicely on your slide where you want to allocate those dollars. What does the rest of the capital raise journey look like after you get the 1.2?
So after we get the 1.2, we plan to raise Series A fund, maybe about 10 million thereafter, between 5 to 10, 6 to 10 million thereafter. And if we are successful in raising that, we plan to raise Series B and Series C as well too. Yeah, so that we can expand and compete more effectively, and also expand our operation and include some other features on our platform that will help us to grow revenue that is even outside the FX margin that I mentioned, right? So part of our growth strategy is to be able to provide our API to other businesses that do not have the technical know-how, but they want to do things that are similar to not necessarily money transfer, but they want to do something else that we can provide an API for them on a subscription basis. So there's a whole bunch of other business model, revenue model that we have in the pipeline that we want to be able to do to grow our revenue.
Very nice. When I think of an app, I think of advertising as a revenue stream, right? Because every app I have that I use, there's an ad popping in there trying to sell me something, right? Is that a part of the model as well?
No. So let me tell you about some other things that is actually on our platform that I didn't get to talk to you about earlier.
Well, you got to tell us about all the things.
Yeah,
sir.
exactly. So on our platform, there is an opportunity to make a donation, right? So that is something that you won't find on any of these other platforms. So supposing you've been doing transaction on the platform and we give you some reward over time, or we do some promotion, you get some what we call cash back, right? So when you get those cash back, you have the opportunity to donate that cash back to an organization, a non-profit organization of your choice, right? It's like a giving, it's like giving back to your community. So that is something that we are very, very passionate about, giving back to your community, and you can use the money that you get as a cash back, to give back to your community. So that doesn't really necessarily translate to money to Orokii, but that's a way that we give back to the community, right? Down the road, another way that we also want to ensure that we want to expand our platform is doing exchange traded fund, right? On the platform. We plan to partner with some other organization that will enable us to use their license. So Orokii is not going to pursue those licenses, but we use a third party, a partner license to be able to provide an ETF on our platform, right? So exchange traded fund on our platform to be able to do that. We're also talking to another partner that will enable us to, when people actually on our platform sending money to different part of the world, they can also buy any kind of financial asset, right? So like maybe they can buy bond, they can buy security asset, they can buy different type of assets. So you are not only sending money, but you can also buy assets that are available in those countries that you are sending money to. So we're in a talk with a partner that has this license already, and we are talking to them to enable our platform to be able to deliver that capability. So when you are on the platform and you are sending money to back home to say Mexico, and there is a ability for you to buy, so you are not only sending money, but you're also making some investment in Mexico, using our platform to be able to do that. So, or in Haiti, for instance, or in Dominican Republic, or in any of these other countries. So we are constantly seeking partners that will enable us to be able to drive some additional revenue growth that is not necessarily straight from the FX margin that I've spoken to you about.
Very nice. And what a wonderful way to separate yourself from the competition. No one's doing that right now.
Yes,
So
no one.
that's awesome. Wow. Very, very good. Ms. Patrice has asked about the licenses that you said you had. You said you mentioned 7 licenses and
That's
that you're
correct.
applying for more. She'd love for you to elaborate a little bit on what these licenses allow for. What do they allow you to do or provide you?
So we are licensed by FinCEN as what they call MSB, Money Service Business, right? So that is the first thing that you need to do with FinCEN. So if your FinCEN is the Federal Financial Network and Crime Enforcement Network, FinCEN, right? So if it's an agency under the Treasury Department. Right. So we are registered with FinCEN as an MSB, meaning money service business. But that does not alleviate us from getting a money transmitter license from the states. So for you to operate in state, you have to have what they call money transmitter license. So the money transmitter license is a very, it enables you to actually conduct businesses in the states. And it's an adult tax to embark on. It's expensive, it takes time to get, and it's not an easy, there's a whole bunch of compliance and a whole bunch of things that you need to do to have in place. Yeah, it's sure, so what they call surety bond, right? You have to buy surety bond to be able to get an MTL. And different states have different requirements because there's no one single governance or governing body that you can get. Once you get this license, you can cover the whole of the 50 states. No, you have to go to every state to get these licenses, and every state is different. And I can give you an example. In Florida, we got the license for, maybe it cost us probably about $1,500, and took us about 3 months. In the state of New Jersey, where the company is headquartered, it took us 18 months to get the license. Yes, 18 months. And the application fee in Texas, the application to get MTL license in Texas, the application alone is $10,000 just for the application. $10,000. Yeah.
Oh,
And in Idaho, the application fee is like maybe $25 or $50 or something like that. So it's different. It's all over the place. It's not uniform. It's all over the place. Different. And in Arizona, it cost us about maybe 1,250 or so to get it, and we were able to get the license under 2 months. So it's all over the place. There's no one, there's no standard. So every state have their different regulations, they have their different things that you have to abide to. Sometimes it takes you longer, sometimes it takes you less, sometimes their requirement is totally different. In some cases, you have to buy a surety bond for 500,000 or 1 million. In some states, the surety bond is only 50,000. In fact, I've seen a state that their surety bond is only 10,000. So it's all over the place. But right now we have 7 licenses, and we are continuously working with to get additional licenses on the platform. I hope that answered the question.
I believe it did.
Okay.
Ms. Patrice can tell us if she has any additional questions. Oliver on Facebook says, are there any countries not included? So we talked about the top 10. Are there any that you cannot do business in at all?
Yes, there are some countries in Asia that we don't cover. We don't cover the whole of Africa, for instance. I think we are cover only about 13 countries in Africa right now.
Okay.
Yeah, and we cover the whole of Europe. All the European countries, all the 27 countries, we can deliver payments, all the 27, including the UK. So United Kingdom, Great Britain, Scotland, Ireland, we can deliver payment in all that. We cover a good chunk of Latin America, Mexico, Peru, Chile, Argentina, Brazil, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Yeah, I think in the Caribbean, we cover Haiti and the Dominican Republic and some other countries there. But we do cover, like I said, we cover right now about 87 countries. So it's a big chunk of the world that we cover.
Nice. So if you guys have any other questions, please feel free to put them in the Q&A. We don't want to miss any of your questions. The final question I have for you, BC, is, oftentimes we ask founders, what do you need? Obviously, funding, right? Because you wouldn't be here otherwise, right? So that's obvious. So we'll put that to the side. In addition to funding, what else do you need? I think about downloads. Is that something the community can help with, right? Is it beneficial for them to go to the App Store and download the app? And if so, how easy is that to do? And what else do you need?
Yes, I want the community to download the app and use it to send money to different to their friends and family wherever they have them, or if you need to use it for businesses. So we also have a business aspect of this, B2B. The B2B, we wanted to make it much easier. We had it on the mobile app before. But because there are some things that we need to gather together in terms of information and all that, it's much easier to do that on the web. So we move it to the web. So the B2B will not be available until when we launch the web version that I just spoke to you earlier about, which we plan to launch in the next 4 to 6 to 6 weeks. But our B2B feature enable us to be able to allow businesses to pay invoices in other countries. So you have invoices you need to pay, you need to settle bills in other countries. We're able to do that. Right? So you can do that through our mobile app today as well too. But the B2B platform is actually going to be enabled on the web platform, and you can use it to pay payroll. So supposing you have offshore employees and you need to pay them, you need to pay their payroll. You can use our app to do that. We can deliver that payment for you to pay payroll, to pay invoices, to pay any bills. Or if you need to, you've done a lot of work here, you want to invest back home or wherever you need to make your investment, we can use the Orokii app to do that. So awareness, downloading the app, using the app is something that we definitely I'm looking forward to as well too. So in addition to the ask, I'm also want to get the name out. So name recognition, get the name out, and people actually using the app is something that I'm asking for in addition to the ask for the fund.
Nice. Does the recipient have to have the app downloaded as well?
No, so the recipient in other countries do not have to have the app, but within the US, domestic, you have to have the app. Okay. Because in domestic, what we do is you have to have a wallet, right? So like I said, it's a blockchain technology. So if I'm sending money to you right now, once you sign up, you link your bank account, then the person that you need to send money to has to have the app as well too. So I just send from my wallet to wallet, and that transaction takes about 2 seconds, right? To send wallet to wallet transfer domestically, that is guaranteed. It's about 2 seconds always, yeah. So, but the person has to have the app in the US. So if you are doing money transfer within the US, the recipient has to have the app. And you can also invite, if someone doesn't have the app installed from the app, you can invite them and send them a link where they can actually download the app and then install the app, and you can send money to them.
Nice. Very good.
For cross-border, the recipient does not have to have the app for cross-border.
Okay.
You just need their bank account and bank information to send the money to.
Very good. Very good. I love that you've made this easy to do. We used to own a blockchain education company, so I'm very familiar. And you have been one of few people that have been able to build a solution using blockchain, and you haven't had to explain in detail what it is, right? I love that you've kept that technology that is life-changing on the back end, and it doesn't become part of the user experience. It doesn't have to.
They don't have to know about it.
Yeah, had you not even told us what it was powered by, you've created a solution that we wouldn't have needed to know that. And I love that, because a lot of companies put that, put it in the forefront, and it confuses users and investors, right? That don't understand what it is. So I love that you've used this, again, what I believe is life-changing technology, but you've put it in the back end and you've not let it interfere with the user experience. So again, congratulations to you and your team for building this streamlined payment process that sounds like it's absolutely wonderful. I hate that I did not have it downloaded to use it on Friday.
Now you're going to have to go and download it now.
Absolutely. I absolutely will. Let's see if there are any more questions. Talisha, are there any additional questions in Facebook there?
No, ma'am.
All right, let's make sure I didn't miss anything here in the chat. If you have any final questions, this is your time to put it in the Q&A. I am going to give my final statements. Then, BC, I will let you give yours. First of all, thank you very, very much for joining us here at the 10K Project. We are always excited to be a part of a founder's journey in capital raising and building the business. This is a great presentation. It definitely seems like you have been very thoughtful and mindful in what you've built. And so as you're talking and thinking about, the utilization of people's money, I love that you have handled this with care. And so thank you. As a future user, thank you very, very much for that. Because, we work hard for these dollars, right? We want to make sure we can maintain as much as we can. And if we're sending it somewhere, we want them to get as much as we can. And so I love that you don't have fees associated with this, because so often when we send money and do anything, it does not all make it there, right? I mean, we think about all the traditional ways people send money, Western Union and all of these ways that people send money, and 20-30% of it is lost in fees. And so the fact that you've tackled that piece alone, so if you forget the speed, right? If you forget the fact that somebody can get it in seconds, the fact that they're going to get the entire amount is a huge accomplishment. And so that is absolutely wonderful. Again, you've mentioned some things here that, in my opinion, set you well apart from the competition. You've really been thoughtful on how you stand in front of all of them versus alongside of them. So congratulations to you and your team for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
The goal here is to obviously help you raise capital, right? And so to the community, I'm always going to tell you, do your due diligence, right? Make sure you do your due diligence. If you consider investing, we have put the campaign link in there. We've showed you the campaign page on where you can go. How long is the campaign open? How long are you raising capital?
I think the campaign is open till April.
Okay. So very good. So April, but you guys know I always tell you, don't wait till the last minute, because at any moment, BC could get the influx of cash that he needs and he could close the campaign. So if this is a campaign that is of interest to you, please do your due diligence and consider investing. Outside of that, y'all know what I'm going to say. Share this campaign link, right? The more eyes that see this campaign, the more people that will like what they see and consider investing. And so that's what tonight is about. Tonight is about sharing the heck out of this campaign. It's about doing your due diligence and seeing if this business fits in your individual portfolio, because we all have different risk profiles and we're all building a portfolio that is unique and special to just us. And so you have to decide if this fits in your portfolio. But if it does, then we want you to act and we want you to use the link. I do see a couple of more comments that came through before I let you close. Miss Patrice says that you said no fees today. Is there a plan for future fees for transfer?
No fees.
So Mr. Patrice, he said no fees today or tomorrow. Okay.
Tomorrow. No fees. Yes.
And Oliver asked another question in Facebook. Oliver said, wallet to wallet, can cryptocurrency be sent as well since it uses blockchain?
No cryptocurrency because of regulations.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Nice. All right, BC, I'm going to turn it over to you, sir, to close us out. And again, thank you again for coming and sharing this amazing project with us and for allowing us to be part of your journey.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, on this call. I really appreciate your attendance. I think this is a huge opportunity for us, and I'm glad that I'm part of this, and I'll continue to be part of the 10K project. I think I like what the 10K project is doing, and bringing investors like us here. I mean, associating with investors and bringing founders like us to come and tell you about our story, about what we are doing, what we are creating, what we are building. I think it's a one-time opportunity, and I really appreciate that. And just like Tawana mentioned, share this information with your friends and family. Let's spread the word. We are obviously want to raise the capital so that we can scale our operation and also be able to drive the revenue growth that we need to expand our market. So we are looking for all your support, and would definitely be humble if folks that are on this channel today are able to support our drive and support our dream and be able to be part of our vision. I definitely will be humble, and I would appreciate that. So thank you all for your support, and we're looking forward to being a part of this unique organization. It's not every time that you see this type of organization that you can speak to, right? So it's a unique opportunity, and I really cherish that, and I appreciate that. So thank you for your time, and I'm looking forward to have you as an investor for Orokii, and I will give you my word. I will do everything I can to ensure that I create value for the investment that you've made in Orokii as a shareholder. So thank you, and I'm looking forward to being part of the 10K project going forward.
Thank you very, very much, sir. To the community, the ball's in your court. All eyes on you now. Thank you guys so much for participating tonight. For everyone here in the Zoom, thank y'all for hanging out right here in Zoom. For those of you watching in the Facebook group, thank you guys. But next time you got to come on in the Zoom with us. Oliver, thank you for the great questions that you asked in Facebook. We appreciate you. And again, share, share, and share. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. And again, Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Good night.
Good night. Bye-bye.